Juggernaut provides himself plenty of sustain, which is vital during lane phase with his healing ward. With a cooling blade and his nice attack animation, last hitting is an easy task for most lane scenarios. Also, he offers plenty of kill potential with his Q, as well as an escape with the same ability. As he gains levels, he has a value point in his crit, making it harder for heroes to trade with him. This is also not adding to the fact that once he reaches level 6, it's almost impossible for most heroes to play in lane against him, because if he gets full Omni/Aim Blade Fairy, it's a kill against the majority of heroes he'll play against. Another reason Juggernaut is a strong hero in the current meta is his abilities allow for his aggressive playstyle. It's only 12 minutes into the game in this clip, and I'm playing on the enemy side of the map. My kill potential with Blade Fairy and Omni Slash allows for me to take back control of this area when Omni Knight tries to push out the lane that I'm keeping in. When the enemy reacts towards my movements, I'm able to sustain myself by healing with Healing Ward for me and my allies, and staying around the area, not giving up said area. While I'm making aggressive movements like this, whether it be farming creeps in dangerous areas or going for kills, I'm creating a ton of space for my team and the rest of the map. The opposing team must allocate many and specific resources if they want to deal with me entirely. After I go for these kills, I'm just staying up here and farming. What's nice about Juggernaut is that there's low risk for punishment because of the low cooldown of Blade Fairy. If I ever feel like I'm in danger, I can always just cast Blade Fairy and TP out to safety, as long as there are no spell immunity piercing stuns on the other team. Realistically, I just don't think it's very hard to execute what needs to be done when you play Juggernaut. Spinning on a hero and then using move click to stay on them, or staying off the mat with Healing Ward, it seems pretty easy to me as long as you're microing the Healing Ward during fights. Not to mention where Omni slashes up, there's always potential for a free kill. Juggernaut is able to be high impact in most games as long as you're staying aware of what your hero needs to do, which is playing aggressively and trying to use your ulti off cooldown. He farms fairly quickly by just right clicking with his passive and items, as well as using Blade Fairy often in early game portions just to farm. Faceless Void has fairly high base damage with a nice attack animation and can bully out most heroes that try to trade with him. Also, he can avoid ganks with his Time Walk and trade harass, then cast Q to win the trade. This allows for himself to be fairly stable at handling a lane on his own and possibly securing kills with a bit of help from his supports. His base regeneration isn't so bad either. With Tangos, he's usually fine alone. You can see in this clip you just compare the CS between Pvgna and myself that I'm pretty much getting what I want out of lane, and Pvgna has to play fairly scared. Unlike some other cores in this meta, Void makes it incredibly hard to directly play against as an opposing core. With his ulti, he can immobilize cores and bash them down with a bit of attack speed and maybe the help of your teammates as well. The beauty of this is that you don't even have to be as farmed as the enemy heroes. This is a large reason why this hero used to be played in the off lane, and sometimes in your pubs today. You'll see in this clip, I'll go in this team fight and start hitting Luna, who is 2k net worth, higher around 15 minutes, and 2 levels higher. It doesn't even matter, and it's an easy, secured free kill, and I did was essentially the Sakila, Power Treads, Mass Madness. And after you kill the other core on the other team, it's pretty easy to clean up the rest of the fight as well. In the previous 2 clips, I talked to you guys about how strong Faceless Void can be in the lane phase, and how fairly easy it is for him to get pickoffs after that. What's nice is that his scaling doesn't end there, and it goes well into the late game. If you look at his talents and you look at his abilities, you kind of get an understanding why. So first, you have Time Walk. This allows for you to reset whether you're using it defensively or maybe you want to initiate for your team, and then it makes it pretty easy for you to go in for it first. So it lets you pick and choose which kind of team fights you want and maneuver around them. Also, it's nice because it helps you farm. And at level 20, there's a talent which increases the range by 500, and that's why I can leap so far, almost 1200 range. And this is on a 6-second cooldown, so you guys can see how much you can abuse it. And next you have Time Dilation. So this ability adds more of a cooldown to spells that are already on cooldown. The more they use, the more slow they get as well. And this is especially nice if it's against mobile heroes because they rely on their abilities so much. And in a way, it's kind of a silence if the ability's on cooldown, so all they can really do is right click and they're slowed. So if this ability, if they can't dispel it with whether it be BKB or Yules or whatever the case might be, then it kind of puts them in trouble. And then next you have Time Lock. So this, I don't really have to explain it more than it's a built-in basher essentially, and then you have a talent level 15 you choose to go for it to add more damage, so that's 225 at bash to 125, which is pretty nice. Lets you man fight enemy heroes, and obviously they're running away, it keeps them in place as well. And then lastly you have Chronosphere, which is basically an AoE for 5 seconds, keep them there, and then your team can combo with you or you can get solo kills. And in the last clip I showed you how you can just take down enemy cores. And then now you look at all of his talents. So at level 10 and 15, it kind of depends what you want. Because you pick the left side 8 strength and 300 HP, that's a total of 460 HP. So it depends if you just want to be tankier or you want to get damage and then more bash damage, which normally I opt for. And at level 20, I usually get Time Walk almost always because how much you can do with it essentially. And attack speed is nice, but you know, at that point that's usually not the problem. And level 25, this one really depends on the game. See, if you could get Chronosphere and their Chronospheres are much larger, you guys can tell from that. Like, even though it only says 175, that's actually a lot. And then you also have Backtrack, which is basically you're going to take 25% less damage, so you have a chance to evade where damage comes your way. So at all points in the game, Face's voice is strong, especially in late game. You don't have to worry about that at all. It's pretty simple. If you cast Link on the enemy hero, you gain damage and they lose damage. They can't stay in lane to properly get creeps against you, and it makes it easier for you last hit for each bit of damage you've stolen. Razor makes it a complete nightmare for the majority of heroes in Dota lane against him because he provides so much kill potential if they stay. His ability to solo the lane so easily makes it for supports to be able to help the other lanes, which is a big reason why he's high value in this meta currently. Execution is fairly easy, and there's not much to be done as well for an enemy hero. It's almost impossible for them to turn on you unless another hero was there from the beginning. Any layer means that you can, generally speaking, man fight both of them. Razor has plenty of utility when it comes to teamfights. He can sap an enemy core's damage, which makes him an anti-core, rendering that hero nearly useless in teamfights. He can purge nearby enemies and slow them down with his passive. And he also has his Plasma Field spell for AoE damage and sight. This is also not to mention his ulti is consistent damage and lowers the armor of the lowest nearby enemy target. Also, all of his abilities require him to be nearby enemy heroes to do what he does, but that's pretty easy when the hero naturally has high movement speed from his passive and the item builds you normally make. Because of the movement speed, he's also able to clean up fights after a fight's essentially won, leaving behind no stragglers. So whenever you play Razor, generally speaking, you don't really have to worry about the late game too much unless there's a hard counter because his ability to impact the late game. If you look at his abilities, they all have use in the late game where his Q is sight and some damage, his W is an anti-carry, his E is obviously good at purging and slowing nearby heroes, and his ult is consistent damage. What's nice is that if you get to a point in late game, he can be your winning condition because his talent at level 20 makes his ult stronger, and then you get axe and hits towers safely. He has over 3k naturally at level 25, 3k HP, and then his level 25 talent also gives you 100 attack speed. So you're able to take objectives pretty safely without too much commitment. And these items that I bought are pretty natural. So you can just be safe and then goes bad, you just turn on BKB and then you get a Rex. If you look at this, in the duration of one ulti, I already got a tower and 2 Rexes. Obviously it was uncontested, but you can imagine you're playing Razor with 3k HP and BKB, you feel relatively safe and you can pressure that. And people usually don't want to get near Razor. So whenever you play into late game as Razor, in a way he is your winning condition, as long as you could get that point and get this farm.